I hope you do.
Rob Van Dam! Rob Van Dam! Rob Van Dam!
I'm Rob Van Dam. The whole show.
Oh man. It's a Thursday. It is trash night.
Trash night!
Devon! Get the trash!
Get the trash!
Get the trash!
Trash! You want to see some effort? I'll put some effort into it and go on the way! Why not?
Boy, that'll make anybody take out the trash.
Hey, I'm all in or all out, you know.
That's it. You got to, if you go the whole route, you got to go the whole route.
I'm
Hey,
committed.
it's fine with RVD. That's RVD, guys. Say hi.
Bam.
Oh, dang, Rob, you're looking jacked.
Yes, sir.
Heck
And
yeah.
I also have a guest with me.
Could that be?
Hey!
Hey, it's KT. What's up, Kate? Hey, what's happening?
My beautiful wife, Katie Forbes.
All right. Yes.
Happy Thursday, y'all.
Happy Thursday, gang. We got a lot of good people already in the chat. Maddie and Jem the Dawn are talking about kangaroos in here. We got a whole bunch of people in the house chatting it up. So welcome to everybody. Chelsea.
Yeah, by having a lot of good people is that's quality and quantity.
That's it. Quality and quantity.
Let's say it the other way around and it sounds better. That's quantity and quality.
Boom. I like it. Double Qs, everybody. Hello. So if you guys have some questions, feel free to ask them. It always helps to use the super chat. They'll get bumped and make it in front of you. Boom. They'll get bumped on up.
Right out. Not even warming up. You're just letting them know. All right, yeah,
I'm just filling them in. Just filling them in.
What is today? Okay, Thursday.
Yeah. So were you
traveling? Yeah, we were traveling. And we were in Jacksonville, St. Augustine, actually.
Yes.
But also Jacksonville. That was the airport. Over the weekend for the River City Con, where we showed the poster, and there's like 100 wrestlers there.
If I have it still, I think it's
yeah, so it was pretty big. There you go. Yeah, boom. There's 91 there, 7 down, 13 across. Do the math. I got 91. You know, let me know what you get. But that's some of them right there. And of course, I didn't get to say hi to everybody, but I did a lot of them. Saw Scorpio, Dory Funk Jr. We got a photo. If we were real pros, we would like, you would have just popped up the photo with me and Dory.
And Brett.
Yes.
Man, let's get better.
We gotta get better. We gotta get better at that.
Let's all just do a little better.
Yeah, everybody.
I could have. Oh, there you go, baby.
Hey, look at Katie's on the ball.
Oh,
RVD and Bret Hart. Hell yeah.
You have to.
No, that one's on your phone.
Alrighty, I got my phone.
Oh,
and
look
I
at
sent
that.
you a picture too that I want to talk about if we have time too.
Yeah, shoot it. Send it to me.
No, I did, bro.
Did you? Oh, you
No, I
did.
forgot what I was looking for already. Oh yeah.
Oh, I see this. I just saw this on.
Yeah, if we have time, I want to talk about.
Okay, we'll definitely have. We'll make time for this, Rob. I'll make time.
Someone said RVDology for LA, and you were just telling me like the legal rules of a riot.
Yeah, well, they were saying, you know, what's the when is a protest fine and when is it breaking the law, right? And man, what a crazy! Be safe out there, everybody. If you're leaving home, holy cow, all over the country. You been keeping up on it?
Little bit. I kind of it bums me out, so I haven't been tuning in too much to it. But yes, I've been keeping a little bit of tabs on it from what I've been hearing.
Yeah, it's growing, and it's it's like we're at war with ourselves,
right?
And you can protest. The First Amendment gives us the right to protest. We have the right to. By the way, I'm on jet lag day because we just got in, so usually I don't do anything for 2 days because my train of thought isn't quite as strong as normal, but let's put it to the test. But anyway, having said that, besides religion, all the other 4 parts to the First Amendment apply here, because you have the right to protest, you have the right to redress your government, you have the right to free speech, and you have the right to free assembly. So as long as you're not breaking the law while you're doing that, and that's what people are doing, if you're throwing rocks and fucking stealing and shit while you're protesting, then no, that shit doesn't make it legal. Just you can't just say you're protesting. That's not how it works. But also, as far as freedom of speech, it's even that has certain boundaries. Like you can't incite a riot. If reasonable people could take your words to activate, some kind of a harmful, violent action or something, then you got an argument on your hands, because that's not cool. Just like you can't yell fire, or bomb on an airplane, shit like that. But so there's certain things to it. But man, this is crazy though. It's the ICE getting rid of or arresting to get rid of illegal immigrants, and then everybody protesting against it. And man, if you haven't seen the footage, and somehow you've been living in a bubble, just check it out. Look it up on YouTube. Look up LA. It's crazy. It's like the riots from back in the day with the Rodney King and the LA riots of the early 90s. But right there on the highway, I think it's on the 101. It looks like it's just like covered in soot. Cop cars all burn up, and looks pretty violent too. So nobody's interested in backing down here, and yeah, this isn't to sound biased, but something that I was trying to learn about it. I was looking on Instagram. There was a post that said, how does it go, baby?
People representing their countries that they don't want to go to while destroying a country they don't want to leave.
People are holding the flag of the country they don't want to go back to while destroying the country they want to stay in.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh man,
yeah, that makes sense. That's one way to look at it. But it is ugly out there.
It's crazy. Yeah, the little that I've heard of it, and I keep tabs with listening to certain online YouTube podcasts and stuff like that.
No, check it out, because just in the last 24 hours, even. I mean, it was LA, and LA looked like horrible. And LA's been a shithole lately anyway, for different reasons. And now it's just like, man, I think it risks, being turned into ruins. It seems like, if we want to be dramatic here, but then not just LA, but then Washington D.C. and then Dallas. I'm like, let's see if it's in Vegas. It is. It's in Vegas, Chicago, and so everyone is protesting against Trump's orders, because he's tightening up. I guess he gave, I don't know enough about it to act like I do, but my first thought is, well, I guess he gave these people enough time to go, and Katie said she's been seeing commercials for the longest time saying, go. If you don't belong here, go now, and we'll let you back in. But if you stay and we catch you, you're going to get kicked out and you can't come back, which I heard that at the Vancouver airport, actually, before.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah. So blunt.
Yeah. And mine was about a blunt as well. Yeah.
Just a different type of
Yeah. Synchronicity.
Right? Man, yeah, it's been wild. I always think too, it's just I wonder if they have
looting, bro. If you haven't seen it, they're looting. They're burning the city. They're looting the jewelry stores and shit, marijuana dispensaries, but also a lot of other shit too. But that's some of the stuff that I've seen on camera, where they break through the window and they come in, they go out, and they're fighting the cops straight on, fucking violent. And the cops they really got their hands tied. You got to kind of. You got to give them a little extra room, to step it up when people are throwing shit at them, bricks and fire and scooters. They're throwing the scooters off the bridges through the windshields of the cop cars.
My gosh.
Yeah. It's pretty
crazy. It's just wild stuff. And it's
big. Like even in this city, they said in the last day that there was over 100 people arrested out of the protest that we just had here in Vegas, and then so Trump was sending the National Guard, I guess.
He sent I heard he sent the National Guard. Then he was going to send for the Marines too.
Yeah,
might be interesting.
Wild.
Yeah.
It's like, well, like Rodney King said, can't we all just get along? That's what I want. That's what I want to happen.
Yeah.
Jeez, oh man, craziness. We do have some super chats already from couple of our favorites actually. We got Seth in the house.
Yo, Seth.
What's up, RVD? No KD, we riot.
See ya.
Glad to catch the show after working through 2 in a row. The world needs some RVDology right now. Maybe you can talk about not demanding the world to conform to your personal preferences. Interesting. I like that, Seth.
Yeah, I mean that's really a way of putting like everything, right? Like whether it's a religious war, isn't that what you're doing? Is saying, hey, how dare you have different values than me? You must die. Like it breaks down to that, although you're in the mindset that you're fighting for a much greater cause. And that's whether you're in the army sent overseas or whether you're here arresting people behind a badge and a gun, or whether you're fighting for your families to not be split up and torn apart during all this. If it's the greater good that everybody believes, and everyone has a different cause of what that is. And sometimes it's because what's good for me isn't good for you.
Yeah.
This one's tough. Blowing everything up, tearing the city down. I don't think that's the answer, but I mean, that's how these people are expressing themselves, turning it into, and I think that's because they know someday it'll get fixed and everything, and it'll just be, remember that time? It was crazy, like a movie. We were wild. I can imagine. And I don't even know. I mean, maybe I shouldn't even say I can imagine because I'm not in the middle of that. It just when I watch it and try and tap into that energy when they're smashing windows and laughing, some of them are riding that wave of energy and emotion. And I could see me doing that when I was a kid, when I was an older teenager, for sure. Like, hell yeah, fuck the police or whatever.
Oh my gosh.
Totally. Like, we didn't do that kind of shit in Battle Creek, but I could see, where we would have felt like that was a cool thing to do. Am I wearing the same tank top in there? How embarrassing.
That would be really funny if that's the case.
I just thought I'd say that anyway since the top was cool.
That is funny, though. It does kind of look like it.
Yeah, but stop. Stop destroying shit. There's going to be consequences. That's all. There's always consequences, and that's what everyone has to keep in mind. If you're thinking about going out there, you're going to get caught on camera. They're going to come back after you, just like they did when they stormed the White House. They're going to everyone, yeah, and like they did, like I said, the Rodney King. What was that riot called? I don't even know. The LA riots, right?
Yeah, I think it was just called the LA riots. I know it took place in like 91, right? The night it was like
but now I mean it's like there was other riots before that in in East LA and I don't know now if that's just a general term. LA riots, it happens a lot, but can we just all get along?
That's it. I'm always curious too how many of those people that really elevate and like vandalize or like do violent stuff, if they're just bad actors too, to make a peaceful protest, blow it up. You know what I mean? Like causing trouble. When people peacefully protesting against stuff like that, and you get some asshole that just does something bad to kind of.
Yeah, I know, but it's overwhelming when you watch videos. And the streets are just covered with people. When when windows break, it's just all these people are just pouring in through the door. And like one guy in there is trying to stop everybody, and be a hero. And it's like, dude, it's not worth it. Get out.
Not worth it. No.
and then then when cops come or something and grab one guy, they all run out, and it's like 100 bad apples, when you know what I mean. So I get what you're saying, and there's always going to be some that are going to be the ones to stand on top of the car for the photo.
Yeah.
But then everyone is kind of like, hey, we're a lot stronger in numbers.
I know you get that mob mentality, and people like just start fucking going nuts sometimes, or like just going along with the flow of it all too. It's crazy stuff. Stuff.
If you're gonna protest peacefully, then be safe, be careful, and watch out for the people that aren't protesting peacefully.
Yeah, that just want to cause riot or cause craziness for sure.
Maybe stay inside and protest from your computer, but that's your choice.
That's yes. Handle it how you want to, but be safe out there, everybody.
It looks scary out there.
Yeah, it does. Oh man, I haven't checked out any footage or nothing like that too much, except like brief little clips and stuff.
It was very much like the LA riots when the cars are going through Compton and people are throwing bricks through their windows and shit. They were doing that to the cop cars, and there's so many cop cars that were just left on the street, like a huge line of them, and they're all fucked up, all just trashed. So that gets paid for by taxes. So that's part of the consequences besides the trouble that will follow. And man, like Katie was saying earlier, like wait till we hear the death toll.
Oh man, yeah. I didn't even think about that yet.
It's pretty violent. Yep.
Oh, our best to everybody out there. Be safe. Protest peacefully as much as you can.
Okay.
We have a couple other super chats here too. We can get out of the way. Let's see. Maddie, thanks for the $2. He says RVD and Katie bring us weed and love. WrestleMania 42 Las Vegas. Yeah, what do you think about it?
We're excited.
Yeah.
I kind of felt like it was a good possibility anyway. I could see them wanting to do it regularly here because it has everything and you don't need to go anywhere else, just like it being the boxing capital and Tyson's biggest fights. Not that I'm a boxing historian. I don't want someone saying that's not true because the Tokyo Dome, I don't know. But I just know he did a lot of fucking business here. And as do all sports. We're the fucking sports capital of the West Coast now. And we're getting a baseball team and men's basketball team, from what I understand, on top of everything. So it's just growing like a motherfucker here. But anyway, I could see Mania being here, and it'd be cool to it'd be good for us anyway, but it'd be cool. It'd be cool to capitalize on it, with some different ideas that I have, for the fans. So maybe some of them I wasn't able to do this year. We had some ideas, but I had my broken feet.
Yeah, we'll run it back, and this year will be even better because you won't be with broken feet.
Yeah. And anyway, my thoughts are awesome. Super cool.
Is there something that you think that WWE could do now that they've been in Vegas here, just this past April? Like, is there something different that the company could do to kind of make it feel like a bigger deal being in Vegas? Is there anything that comes to mind necessarily?
Well, I mean, I don't. You mean temporarily for the WrestleMania hype?
Yeah, for next year when it comes around. Like, is there something else that you'll be like, oh, this would be cool for WWE to kind of embrace or do a little bit more with Vegas as its home?
Yeah, RVD on the show.
That's perfect. I like that.
That's not a bad answer. And I can't really say that I know everything that they did already because I kept hearing about things and then more and more, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And now they're doing something with the local wrestling and this and that. And I'm like, okay, cool. Because like I said a long time ago, with all that growth, they're going to be finding crevices to just stuff that growth into, and they're going to be having all these other peripheral profitable side projects that are going to be really awesome however they decide to do it. So I wasn't aware of what the fan access thing was until I went to it this year, and then I only got to see part of it. I didn't get to really walk around at all. Again, my feet were broke.
Yeah, I got to explore it because Rob was signing for hours and hours at the WWE Fanatics. So I walked around, and it was really fun. I wish I would have filmed more. But
It was neat there.
Fans to do.
Yeah, there was a lot of different things and like things they had set up. Like they had a little Hall of Fame section there. They had
she'll rip my top off. They had a little tattoo area with like a bunch of tattoo artists and with their books with WWE tattoo designs. I was like, that's so cool.
Yeah, that was a neat aspect.
I like the entrance thing. Like the fans would act out their own entrance.
Yeah,
like they would choose their song and then do an entrance and get it filmed, and it was like a professional setup. So I was like, that'd be so cool. Like for somebody that's never experienced all eyes on them type entrance.
And what's there's a place called Netflix invites you something here.
Oh yeah, Netflix bites. Yeah, that's all year round though.
Yeah, so now they have a stationary place, which if you're gonna do Vegas is the place to do it. You know what I mean? And
yeah, they have like WWE burgers, like WWE on the bun and stuff.
It's a restaurant like thing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, Netflix.
Dang,
I guess it's different. There's different shit from different Netflix shows. Yeah.
Oh, is that on the Strip?
Yeah, it is.
It's on the Strip. Okay. Oh,
yeah. We haven't been yet, but I was like, that looks cute.
Yeah, that'd be neat to check out. Katie, I know I told you this before. You should check out a thing called Disco Show at the Link.
I would love that.
Freaking awesome. My friend Lori from college, she's the manager of it over there. And it's like such a neat, she got me tickets to get in there. And it's like a dance floor that lights up. And it's like all interactive disco show that's like super duper cool. You should take somebody. Rob, it wouldn't be Rob's thing, I know. I don't think.
Maybe I'll be at the bar.
Yeah, you might be at the bar. But you should definitely go, Katie. I'll send you the info on it.
I love 70s stuff.
Yeah.
Oh God! But Netflix bites at MGM Grand.
Oh, okay.
Stuff that's inspired by Netflix shows, like food on their menu and the way it's decorated.
Oh hell yeah! That's got to be sweet then.
Yeah.
Dang. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. Vegas is a good spot. I'm kind of happy they're going back there. I know it's appealing to have WrestleMania go all over the country and have different residences and stuff like that. But
just do it here every year.
Let's do it here. It makes a lot of sense
too.
Meet
here. It's made for massive groups of people.
Yeah, you can't charge fucking $15,000 a ticket in Mobile, Alabama. They don't have it.
Or New Orleans, you'll get pickpocketed. You'll step in horse poop on Bourbon Street. Like this is made for luxury and for high rollers, and that's what
disgusting
WrestleMania attracts.
I love it.
I love it. Make them step in horse poop.
Hey, this is a really cool piece I got from a fan.
That's awesome.
That made it home. Besides the rubber chicken, yeah. It when I was in Chicago, I went to Pro Wrestling Tees and signed some stuff that you can find on their website. Talk to them about some future stuff.
You can show the back so they know who did the art.
Oh,
okay, boom! Shout out to
boom! Scan that QR code at JR.
Crazy, yeah. That's crazy how clear that looks on my.
That's super clear. Yeah, you did a good job.
Yeah, we're gonna hang that on our wall.
Faux shizzy.
And we're gonna start showing all the artwork that people make us and gift us because we love it, and we get so many cool creative things, and we decorate our house in it. So it's not like we just receive it and then like put it away. We like receive it and put it on the wall. And
also given to us was the frame, the only wrestler's picture frame.
Yeah. So we really appreciate all the fan gifts. I love art and creativity.
Yeah. It's so cool too that you just put it on the wall, and it's a neat kind of thing that reflects on your guys' like careers and lives, but it's also like the fan aspect of it all too coming into play. It's neat.
Yeah.
You know, super cool. I gotta find that one company made Sabu t-shirts, and I got one for Rob. I don't know where I put it though. I'll have to find it. Dang it. Where'd I put it? I don't know where it is.
Speaking of Sabu's sister is here in town.
Really?
Yeah, so we're gonna get with her and have some more details to share with everybody. What we know right now is that we're trying to do middle of July services here in Las Vegas and June 21st in Lansing, Michigan, June 25th in Philadelphia. Yeah, and family, friends, fans, wrestlers, everyone will be invited to and attending all three of those events. So that's something that we got. That's something we got coming up that we're working on. And 2025 has really thrown some obstacles our way. I don't know if anyone else has felt that or not, but quite a few bumps in the road, which happens. We got to pay our dues, and it's not always gonna be like that. But sometime when you're reading my book, you'll find out about some stuff that you didn't even know that we're dealing with. And people tell me that I motivate them, and I've always heard that, and I like inspiring people. Obviously, I mean, who doesn't want to be seen as inspirational? And I am happy. I'm very happy. I'm happy in a fulfilled, kind of comfortable way that confuses people because I don't have their values and don't want to do what they want to do, which we're all going to have that. But I've always been optimistic. I've always felt that life is just going to get better and better. I've always had that view. Like I've always been excited about the future. Maybe that's why I like getting older. We've had that conversation several times. People say it sucks getting older. I don't feel like that. I love it. The older I get, the smarter I am, the more I understand life, and it does get better. So far I've been right. And don't get me wrong, there's peaks and valleys. There's definitely some times that aren't so happy, and they're temporary, and so are the happy times. So that they're coming, just keep an umbrella close by because the rain's coming, but you don't have to hold it out. Let the sun hit you, enjoy the life. You don't have to be all defensive just because you had bad experiences. You got to be ready and open to receive whatever's going to be happening to you, because you might be having some really good stuff happening. And anyway, it's life is interesting, and we lost Sabu recently, of course, and I feel like a big part of me was lost when we lost Sabu, because he was part of me. He helped create me. He helped make me who I am. And the universe has a funny way of balancing out. He's on the other side now. But tag baby,
we're pregnant.
Heck
Baby
yeah.
coming in 2026.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Congratulations, guys. That's great.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Oh man. What did you guys figure out?
What did you say?
When did you guys figure out?
When did we find out?
June 3rd or June 4th?
Yeah. Soon. So it's still early in the pregnancy, but we want to be transparent with everyone, and we're going to keep everyone updated on all the updates on our baby journey.
Yeah.
That's so great. You guys pretty excited? Were you surprised? Did it come as a shock, or how'd you all feel about it when it happened?
It's been very, very wanted.
We've been trying for a minute, so the timing of it with Sabu passing and then this happening is pretty I don't know. I don't want to say it's pretty I don't know what I need an adjective here. It's pretty amazing. Let me just say that.
Right.
But yeah, my child is going to have to hear me in all these interviews always saying, that I never thought about being a dad. It wasn't something that I wanted. And it became very apparent to me that Katie, she really, really wanted to be a mom.
Yeah.
And she loves kids so much. Like when she's around any of her nieces and nephews, our nieces and nephews, asshole. Then she's just having so much fun. She's always on the floor playing with the kids, and I just love seeing her so happy. So it was a while ago that for me, I was like, holy crap, like I don't feel that strong. It's not like I hate kids. It's just not something, that I've desired to have in my life. But she definitely, to put it in terms I think everyone can understand, she definitely wanted it way more than I didn't want it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then wanting to see her so happy and everything. So of course, got to look at it as a gift. Someone in the chat room last week caught that RVD was smoking a vape pen. That's because our baby's too young to smoke right now. So this is the third week in a row I haven't been smoking doobies. Last week I had a vape pen that sucked, so I tried to hit it once or twice, and this time I opened a brand new one, so I think it'll do me all right. But anyway, on to bigger things.
Yeah.
Man, that's awesome. That's really big things. That's great. I'm so happy for you guys. That's awesome. Congratulations.
I know all the headlines are gonna say RVD 54 has
expecting his first child. Yeah.
Yeah. So there'll be some sort of clickbaity headline or something.
A lot of people are saying that
what are they
it's
saying?
Sabu returning.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, heck yeah.
And we're considering some names to possibly name our child in honor of said Boo.
Said Boo. Seth says Van Dad.
Yeah, RV Daddy.
RV Dad.
How about that?
Rob Van Dad.
Rob Van Dad, that's it. Rob Van Dad.
Thank you, Jim.
Jem says congrats, Rob. I said some prayers. That's awesome. Maddie says Jurassic Park voice Rob Van Daddy. Life finds a way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of our only wrestler followers knew a little bit more because they've been following us along the way. And like she said, we've been trying this for a minute. So, more to come. Information.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I can give y'all weekly updates on here.
Yeah. Fantastic right there.
So it's better look like RVD. And that's what his mom said. She had a dream that we had a daughter with a ponytail just like him that was dancing around. And he said she definitely didn't get the dancing from me.
Definitely not that part. Chelsea wishes you congratulations too. Congrats.
Thank you.
Thank you. Absolutely. We're pretty stoked. We will have a chance to create the perfect non-conforming what's the word for above? Not because I'm thinking sub is below, but super. That's like an anyway. I don't know. Someone, never mind. Let's just say we're gonna have a weird kid
that won't be afraid to be themselves.
That's it. Embrace it.
Yeah.
A one of a kind kid.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, no doubt about it. Let's see. We'll get some super chats here.
By the way, a couple times it seems like maybe one might have been on Marty's show, but fans want to hear and they want to understand Sabu's sense of humor. And everyone that knew Sabu talks about he was funny, but he was dry and quiet. He wasn't a ribber. People always ask, they want to know, or not always, but a couple of times on podcasts last couple of weeks, was he a ribber? No. I told the thing about the underwear on the doorknob. But I thought of something else. A few things. I thought of Sabu in Japan, actually. So when Sabu was wrestling for FMW, I was with All Japan. Sabu was super over. Louis Spicolli was on the tour on the bus with him. And Sabu was really over. He wouldn't get in trouble, but Louis was just, like a young guy with not that much leverage. And anyway, Louis, for some reason, told Sabu, they're on the bus, going down the road, and I don't know if Louis, I guess Louis told Sabu like he had to piss really bad. But it was there's peer pressure when you're in that situation, because you want to be the guy that makes the bus pull over when it's full of wrestlers and we're all trying to get to the hotel or get to the town or get wherever we're going in as little time as possible, because we need to get some sleep and we got to get up early anyway. And like, you're going to make us stop, like, dude, we just stopped like 10 minutes ago, fucking. But that's always a situation, always has been. And Louis was in that situation. And anyway, he says to Sabu, don't worry about it. He said, I'm good now. And he said, what? And, hey, what'd you do? And he said, I pissed in a Gatorade bottle. And he goes, oh, what'd you do with it? He goes, I just threw it out the window. He goes, what? And then Sabu said to the bus driver, he pissed in a bottle and threw it out the window. And then he laughed. Sabu thought it was funny. That was his idea of a rib, was just reacting in a way like, what? Oh, hey, he just did this. But he got Louis fired.
Oh, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn.
Man. That's a bummer.
He couldn't talk him out of firing him. He thought it was funny. He was just joking. And so he felt obligated to Louis. And that's why he got him booked in ECW. And then he was always in Sabu's clique, and Sabu always took care of him. And when Sabu was booked, a lot of times he would say, you got to find a place for Louis on the card too. Don't worry, I'll pay him if you can't pay him. Yeah. And that was also because he felt bad for losing his job for him with FMW.
And Sabu hated snitches, and he ended up snitching on like joking.
Right. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Man, well, it's cool though. Like, it just speaks to what we've always been saying about Sabu and his generosity, and like kind of looking out for Louis after that fact too.
Right. Yeah. And then another thing in Japan, Sabu's humor. There's a wrestler named Honda in All Japan with us. And Honda's head is like the size of a car. I think that's why they call him Honda. But he's just got like a really, really big head, And anyway, it could have been him. Sometimes it was Baba, who also fits into this category. But like if me and Sabu were just like sitting in the seat, before the matches, just warming up, whatever the fuck. And he's seen one of those guys, because Baba's head is also, like huge. And anyway, Sabu would say, not so they could hear, but so I could say, he would be like, Baba, why the long face? And another one that he would say, and both Honda and Baba also fit into this category, where if you look at them from behind, it looks like somebody chainsawed their fucking ass off, just flat. They got like no ass at all. And this became a standing joke, but the first time Sabu said it, I was like, what? What do you mean? And I was like, what are you talking about? He came to Vegas? He goes, no, look at Baba. He lost his ass in Vegas.
Dude, I think a perfect exemplification of Sabu's sense of humor is how he handled stuff on Twitter. Like, there was so many times where he'd make just like side passing comments that were really funny on quote tweet stuff. It conveyed some of that dry sense of humor he had for sure.
Yeah.
Good shit.
He needed a filter sometimes, and that's
a little bit sometimes, right?
But it was there for.
Yeah. I got to double back. Seth actually gave us 2 super chats. I didn't even know.
Whoa.
Yeah. Thanks, Seth. So he said, ironically, people are looting because they
stop.
So sweet.
That's what Lex Liquor did. Stop. Yeah. Stop.
Ironically, people are looting because they have no place in the economy due to the illegal migrants working for under minimum wage. I say wipe the slate, let them stay, but follow the same rules as everybody else. There we go.
So, let me see that again.
Sure, yeah. So, ironically, people are looting because they have no place in the economy due to illegal migrants working for under minimum wage. I say wipe the slate, let them stay, but follow the same rules as everybody else.
Yeah, man, it's a tough one because so they're already here. If they're not on paper, they're not paying taxes. So I get why everybody wants them to leave. Hey, you're here. You're making money, allegedly sending it back to families in Mexico, not even keeping it in our country, which some of them I'm sure are, and they're not paying taxes, and then they're taking jobs from people here that could be employed that are paying taxes, and it's like I get where you wouldn't. That's not an ideal situation for society, since they're already here. Man, there's some pretty cold-hearted tactics separating them from their families and just snatching them like kidnap style. Seems like just like with the rioters, it seems like there's got to be a better way. But I guess when you ask them to volunteer and turn themselves in, they're not going to do anything. But maybe do a little bluff first. Just start like a couple hours of this shit going on and then say, okay, now that we're serious, like right now, if they could pause right now, they wouldn't stop though. You know what I mean? So that wouldn't even do any good anyway. But I'm just saying, I think maybe some people would say, well, let's ride it out. Maybe it's not going to be that bad, not realizing how much it could escalate, which nobody knows how much, it could keep escalating, but it's already escalated probably further than a lot of people would have predicted it would when they were taking a chance staying at work, because that'd be crazy to just pack up everything and, your family, if you can or whatever, and just go down to Mexico and start all over. Nobody would want to do it. I mean, it doesn't sound like a very inviting deal. Moving sucks. Moving sucks first off. Yeah,
it does.
But hey, man, you weren't supposed to be here. You got to be on paper. We're citizens. We're a society. What?
I know there's so many like layers to it all where it's just like, man, like, shipping these people off that have already kind of started a family and got things going and they've got here already. And then like what you were saying, like pulling them like the way they are doing it. It's just like, there's so many that could be handled so much better and it could be a little bit more understanding. I always think too.
I know. Thanks, y'all, for saying I'm glowing.
Oh,
yeah. This is my biggest dream ever.
That's so great, though. It is great.
I won the lottery. Like when I took a pregnancy test, I read it so many times, like a winning lottery ticket.
I believe it. Yeah. No, I remember Rob saying too, like how much you love kids. When you weren't on the show here, and it's I could, you could tell. It's just like the excitement is great. It's awesome.
Yeah. I love kids. They just give me so much purpose. I love teaching them. I love playing with them. I love all kids, even fans. Like when we do autograph signings, like the babies and the children and kids are all my favorite part of it. And I love being with my nieces and nephews. I'm like, when I'm with them, I'm like, this is my favorite way to spend my time. So I knew that's why my purpose in my calling is to be a mom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody I'd rather carry their baby than Rob. I love him so much.
Nobody I'd rather spend my life with.
Like,
Nobody had even been able to spend my life with, baby.
yeah.
I see on here from Red Eye Night, they got to name the baby Terry. Believe me, that was definitely considered. We got some more creative names in mind, but that is also my sister's name.
Rhino's name.
Yeah.
Rhino.
Yeah, it's Sabu's name and his sister's name.
Seems like there's a couple other people. I mean, my sister got named after somebody.
It's like everyone and a lot of people in his generation was named Terry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you said, Rhino, Terry Funk, obviously.
Especially in Michigan. It seems like Michigan people your age is named Terry. Girl or boy.
Yeah, I wonder if that must have been a hot name back then.
Yeah.
Oh man. No, it's awesome though. I'm really excited for you guys. And Katie, you have such a great energy to be a mom too. It's gonna be
Thank you.
hell yeah. Seth also added, he said, more like WrestleMania 420. If RVD's on the show, I'm going. There we go.
It's like 18th and 19th, I believe, this year, right?
Yeah, it is. Yep.
It's the same fucking weekend.
Same weekend, basically.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
mark your calendars, everybody.
No telling where we'll be.
Just don't know, huh? Just don't know.
I'll definitely be back on my feet. I mean, I'm walking around and shit, just not moving real fast, but still better every day. So I'll probably start my own therapy pretty soon. I already am a little, but I mean, I'm trying to stay off of them, but also be on them at the same time. You know.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. Ease back into it as much.
Anyway, it's going good. That's all you need to know.
That's good enough update for me. Maddie says, did RVD name the chicken Russo, bro?
He loves this thing.
Yeah, I do.
Oh gosh. Barbie was so peacefully napping, and then she hears this and goes 0 to 100.
He's like, what is that? Let's get it. Jen, look at Barbie's loving
bro,
it.
grab it by its throat, bro. Bro, kill its crow, bro. Don't let it crow, bro. You go.
No, she's like, why would you bring that in my house? I'm trying to keep y'all safe.
Right, I'm the guard dog here. What's going on? Jim the Don says he's got some art I made for you next time we meet. So
Thank you.
Sweet.
Thanks.
Yeah, Jim. Nice stuff. Maddie then says, did you hear Vince wants WWE back? Ultimate RVD Warrior.
No, this is news to me. Yeah.
So I don't know how much
I'm
it's
surprised.
Yeah,
I don't know. Sharpie, paint my shoestrings.
There you go, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but when it comes to like the Vince, I don't know how much of that's super duper accurate when it comes to him wanting WWE back. I'm sure he does. Like if I had to guess, I would say, yeah, Vince would probably want his company back. But I mean, like he started up that one company, 14th and I or something like that, and it's like an entertainment thing. So I don't know where that all lays out with him and what his plans are for wrestling in regards to anything. But there's a lot of speculation going on. Let's just say that, I guess.
But you ain't got the inside scoop, huh?
Ain't got the inside scoop, that's for sure. I got no info for that. Believe it or not. I am not in the on that. Maddie chimes in. Effing boosted. RVD shows us to live our dreams. Thank you, RVD.
Hey.
Yes.
Got it.
Mackenzie says,
Don't want to spend your life living someone else's dream if it's not consistent with your own.
True. That's kind of how I felt with tattoos. Like I wanted to be covered in tattoos forever, but then I was like thinking about the way people are going to judge me. But then I loved it for so long. I was like, whatever, it's my life. And after like knowing people that get things amputated, it's like I'm lucky to have my limbs to decorate them how I want. It's my life, my body. So yeah, I'm all about that too.
Absolutely.
Do you think the baby will be tattooed?
Come out tattooed. She can do whatever she wants, except get a dangerous job like the Marines.
Yes, you don't want you don't want anything risky like that for sure. Mackenzie makes a suggestion. I'd put some sort of reference to your child in your next attire. One suggestion I have is a dragon egg hatching on a black singlet.
Cute.
That's a cool idea.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Creative stuff,
Neat.
man.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's coming up with some good ideas.
Thank you.
Yeah, Rob doesn't have any tattoos. It was so funny. It was someone asked that, but it was funny because at the convention, someone's like, Rob needs to get tatted up, which is funny from going from no tattoos to tatted up.
Yeah.
Because it has to be like someone like that loves tattoos. Like me, I look at them all day. I study like different artists. I save inspiration ideas. Like Rob has none of that in him.
Or someone that lost a bet.
Yeah.
That's it too, right?
I was like, that's interesting about Rob and Sabu. Neither one of them have one tattoo. And they're both like hardcore guys with no tattoos.
Yeah, I never had the desire. Just, I don't know. Yeah.
It's interesting because like it's somewhat maybe like a generational thing in a way, but it's also like, it's guys your age and stuff have tattoos too. But it's
Undertaker's tatted up.
I don't, but being the nonconformist, I wouldn't do something just because everyone else is doing it.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
Never got my clitoris pierced. No.
Well, that's we're gonna break news on that one too, I guess.
No, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't do it just because everyone else is doing it, and then I've never had the desire, like, whoa, that'd be so cool to have a yin yang permanently right there, so I can see it every time I look. I don't know. It's not knocking it. I'm just saying I've never had the spark.
Yeah, and if that's the case, you don't need one, right?
Exactly.
Just like my nipples pierced, same thing.
Right. That is
Oh man,
that's a turn off. It's not the same thing.
I thought that was a prerequisite to get into wrestling, though. Is get your nipples pierced, like they did back in the day when they amateur wrestling, and that was like part of the background. But you also had to.
Yeah. No, but I always wonder, like, which all of that the same way. I asked her, like, years ago, whatever, and I was like, do you do it for you or for other people? I always want to know that, and I don't know. You think everyone is the same answer or different answer?
Probably different answers. Probably some people that like on guys, like, oh, it'll make me look tougher if I'm tatted up. Like maybe maybe people do it for different reasons. But I really love art. Like even just one of my tattoos is the background of my phone because it makes me happy to look at. That's the Tennessee mountains.
Whoa, that's sweet.
Tennessee Blue Ridge Mountains. So my tattoos are all colorful and girly and things like that just make me happy to look at.
Yeah. That's the way to do it, though. I like, I got 3 tattoos just on one arm, and that's it. But, like, if I'm selective, though. If I think of something I really want, then I'll get it, But
I did get branded that one time I was kidnapped, but then it turned out that I made the whole thing up, and I wasn't really kidnapped. I was just with some ex-boyfriend.
He's telling that's the Sherry Papini story. We've been watching her documentary.
Oh, I thought it was like a Tom Sawyer story, like Mark Twain.
The original Gone Girl.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man. We have another super chat here. A lot of super chats today. Thanks everybody. Maybe it was RVD who hurdled the rubber chicken at Cody at WrestleMania.
Ooh.
They framed Svengoli. What are you not telling us, Rob?
Man, it must have been Curious Vessel that picked up on the vape pen last week. He's good. He's a detective.
He is the detective of the group.
Harvey.
Whoa.
She's gonna knock our lighting down.
Oh, look at that. J. Thomas Cassidy also says, my wife is covered in tattoos and I literally have 0. How about that?
That's us.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's a cool question. I don't know if I ever asked you this, Rob, but did you? Maddie asks, has RVD ever met Jesse the Body, possibly in the Baja? The Baja. Have you met Jesse the Body Ventura, Rob?
Yeah, I did, but it was just like a passing handshake kind of thing when I was in WCW. He did commentary on my match with Johnny Polo / Scotty Flamingo / Raven.
Whoa. So WCW days then.
Yeah,
Wow.
92.
Mm-hmm.
December 92. And it's the debut of I ducked his clothesline and I jumped up to the top rope right in the middle, not in the corner, but jumped up, like Sabu would go chair top rope.
Yeah.
I did that and went back, and that was beautiful. And then when I did the split-legged moonsault, I overshot him a little bit. And so Larry Zbyszko afterwards was like, the thing you did off the rope was better than your finish. And I said, I know, I overshot, I fucked up. And 22 years old, just turned 22. Holy shit. Just turned 22. Damn, I was young. December 92. Yeah. So anyway, Jesse is his voice is on commentary saying something to the effects of, he's like a flying Luenda when I jump up on the rope.
Yeah. Hypothetically, Rob, if I was able to facilitate getting Jesse on the show at a point, would you be up for that? If I could get him?
Why not? I mean,
Okay.
I don't know if he knows anything about me or whatever, but I appreciated his controversial views from the office seat when he was governor. Like he was yanking back the curtain on shit that usually people don't do. So I was a big fan of all that. Besides growing up watching him be the body,
Hell yeah.
the CIA and fucking legalizing marijuana and all the fucking like black ops projects that they fucking spend our tax money on and don't tell us about. But he was cool like that.
Hell yeah, he was. Because I interviewed him like 2 years ago, so I have some sort of contact info. So I'm gonna try. I might make a play and try to get him on.
He's like he's like a flying Luenda. That's
flying Luenda.
I have to hear him again.
I know it takes me a little bit to pick it up on there. I can't do it.
I've heard him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tell you what, Gorilla. You watch out, Gorilla. All right. Rob, speaking of young, I have a photo of you that somebody sent, and I'm sure I've seen this plenty of times before, but he wanted the backstory to this, and if you remember.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you recall this, where you were at, what you were doing at this point in time? Or
that on my shirt right there was the first what are those codes you can scan?
QR code?
QR code. Yeah, like I was way ahead of my time because I had a time machine. So
yeah.
I went back there and said, scan this shirt with your cell phone and you can find out. And they're like, what?
They're like, what is the internet?
Yeah, what? Sell what? You want to buy my phone?
He had a nice mullet.
Yeah, look at that, Rob.
Yeah.
That was nice.
Yes,
he had it poofed and feathered.
And I sprayed sun in my hair.
I used to do that too.
Yeah.
Sun dyed it for us.
I think that this is 92.
Oh.
Which would make me 21. Not quite old enough to drink yet.
Oh boy.
I think it could have been 93, but I don't think so. No, it couldn't have been actually. That could have been 91. Could have, but it's probably 92. So I'm probably 21. And this is my first belt that I had, the South Atlantic Tag Team Championship with another wrestler from Florence, South Carolina, weighing in at 265 pounds of yoked fucking muscle, Chaz Rocco.
Chaz Rocco?
Yes. Are you familiar with that name?
I am not familiar with Chaz Rocco.
Interestingly, there's two Chaz Roccos because it was one in Global Wrestling when that was Global Wrestling where Jerry Lynn, 1-2-3 Kid, Marcus Alexander Bagwell, Patriot, a bunch of those guys came from. During that time when ESPN was showing Global Wrestling, they had a guy named Chaz Rocco, and it was not the same Chaz Rocco. So interesting because the name sounds like it would be not used. But Chaz was a big, bodybuilder like dude, and I stopped at South Atlantic a couple of times, and then ended up doing a contract with them which was in 92 when I was leaving, because I left Florida to come up there to a Charlotte-based company. This was in between that, I believe. I don't think I was under contract yet. I think it was before that and before some of the investors were put together and whatever. But Selena Majors, who's Bambi, and myself and Chaz Rocco were 3 wrestlers that worked together all the time, and we ended up being the nucleus of a new company called Wow, Wide Wild World of Wrestling.
Whoa.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh, wow.
Whoa.
Like an ice bath. You're like, whoa,
Wow.
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 You have to say it like while you're like freezing and shivering.
Yeah. But it was all over Georgia, all over every little town in the Carolinas, fundraising for every fire department, whatever, high schools, all kinds of stuff. But that was the tag belt. Obviously, I can't remember who we wrestled, but that was actually. Well, it would have been around the time when we talked about Gene Leidick last week with Little Guido, who was also Jeff Husker from South Atlantic. Anyway, Chaz and I got along like pretty well, but I was so young and stupid. Like I said, I'm 21 or 20, and one time I got heat with him. It was because we were at a bar. And he was chatting up some girl, and then the next week I went there and he wasn't with me, and I fell for this trap. She came up to me and she was like, "How come Chaz didn't tell me that he was married?" And like a dumb kid that's never been anywhere out of home yet, I was like, "Oh, you know about that?" Yeah. And so he was really pissed off at me, and we had heat. And we went from being friends and working together all the time to having heat.
Oh.
Him trying to spread rumors that I was gay.
What?
Yeah, it was like in 90. Well, I guess in 92, 93. Yeah, it actually, and there was a picture, we'd have the 3x5s that we would take and have them on our table. And there was one merchandise picture of me like stepping out of a hotel hot tub, like with a towel on, supposed to be a sexy picture, whatever.
Yeah.
Selling that?
Yeah.
That would have been your OnlyFans material.
Yeah.
Yeah. Only wrestlers. Only.
Yeah. But somehow he used that, and he was saying that me and the promoter had this relationship and this. Anyway, the money guy, and this was South Atlantic. So Wow was after South Atlantic. So I'm actually getting ahead of the belt, because there's not that many stories except that was pre-Wow, but the same company, same people, except we got a money guy. I don't want to, I guess I've already named his name before anyway, but this guy, very, very religious, wearing the Bible Belt. He actually called me at home one time because of this rumor, because Chaz was in his ear. He was trying to get me fired over it.
Whoa.
We're being gay.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And
that people cared enough that you could lose your wrestling job over being gay.
no, listen to this. He was Jim Sarver is the guy, really religious. And he was like, "Rob," on the phone, "Rob, you're not like gay or bisexual in any way, are you?" It's like, "No." Okay, and I mean, you would tell me, because I mean, if you were, like, that would be a problem with me.
Wow.
Wow.
No, I'm not. It's a ridiculous thought. And then he told me that Chaz told him that me and that girl had like a 3-way relationship with my friend that was the promoter. And he went on to say a couple of weird, yeah, okay. big, like big dude, like 350 pound, big promoter.
Your first throuple.
Yeah. And anyway, it was just a ridiculous phone call, but he totally threw Chaz under the bus and was telling me like all these things that he accused me of. And it was just like, wow. And yeah, I mean, that's how different the world is. He was like, I'm, we're very, very Christian, and we really believe, and it's not like, it's not, I said, dude, I hear you. There's no reason to take this call or this conversation any further. I hope I answered your questions, and I don't know what happened to Chaz or me. I ended up quitting and going to WCW, but I don't remember seeing Chaz again after that happened. Like after he was spreading the rumors, somehow we were split up. Maybe he was already gone from the company. I really can't remember, but I knew, I would hear that, like people would tell me, like on the indie scene down there in the Carolinas, you know what Chaz Rocco told me, and I was like, oh my God, let me guess.
What'd your mom ask when you first joined wrestling or something about gay?
Yeah,
not you, but
no, yeah. So yeah, in South Atlantic wrestling, before I had that belt, quite a bit before I had that, when I first was there, I mentioned when we were talking to Little Guido that Jeff Husker and Tommy Angel, and there was someone else that they all lived like in this house, and they said, hey, somebody's leaving, we got extra room, because I was staying in a hotel or whatever. And when I told my mom, she said, they're not gay, are they?
You're staying in the hotel with them?
I was staying in a hotel by myself.
Oh, okay. Why did you know they were gay?
Because they invited me to stay at their house.
Oh, okay.
And I had told my mom everything that Brickhouse Brown told me when he unloaded and told me and Sabu and Judge and Dango about the WWE casting couch, about Pat Patterson, about his experience, about the Ring Boys. Like this was shortly after that, and I told my mom that, this is what I'm getting. I'm right out of high school.
Yeah.
I'm like, guess what I found out about pro wrestling, Mom?
Hey.
So she was like, so when I said, hey, these guys invited me to stay at they got an extra room or whatever, she was like, they're not gay, are they? I was like, no, they like girls. I've seen them like, banging girls in their car on the ride on the way home. And but anyway, when Tommy asked me again, hey Rob, did you give that any thought yet to staying at the house? Are you gonna want to take that? Or I said, you guys aren't gay, are you?
Oh my God!
Yeah,
you pushed off your.
It was like my mom's voice coming through me.
Yeah.
And I was
now
just.
It doesn't even matter. Like back then, it was like obviously a big
true.
Deal.
Yeah. You thought about it like so many people thought about it in a different way back then.
Yeah.
So anyway, didn't see Chaz Rocco for a long time. We're on our different paths, and then I see him one time at this indie show, and his head was shrunken like Beetlejuice.
What?
He had a tiny little head, and it was obvious that something was fucked up. It was the weirdest thing I'd seen. And I found out that he and his wife had a tanning parlor in Florence, and there was a car lot across the street, and they saw a car or cars getting broken into, and he wanted to be a hero, and so he ran across the street and tried to fight off these people that were breaking into the cars, and they ended up beating the shit out of him and putting his head in the car door and slamming the car door on him over and over, and it gave him brain damage.
They
and
could have killed him.
It did.
Oh,
yeah. He died shortly after I saw him.
Oh my God.
So that's the story with the that belt in front of Piggly Wiggly there, with the young Robbie. I might have been Rob Zakowski or Robbie Z.
Not the Polish Prince, though.
No, wasn't the Polish Prince there. I don't think I was Rob Van Dam yet, but I might have been. You know what? Let me go back there again. Where did I get those shorts? Oh, no, those are Tom's shorts.
Those are Tom's?
Yeah.
How did Tom fit in that?
No, he made those. Like
Oh,
he would
okay.
airbrush the little muscle gimmick on shorts and shirts and shit, and a lot of the clothes
Oh, really?
I bought from him. I was thinking I bought them. Didn't I? No, I think I just made that up in my head. I think I bought them at a flea market in Florida.
Them little ass shorts.
Maybe that was his though. He did that one.
They're
I'm
like
trying to look.
dudes.
Yeah. Well, shout out to Gianni Martello is the one who wanted that info on that photo.
That was my first belt. Oh, it's Winn-Dixie, not even a Piggly Wiggly.
Oh, it is the Winn-Dixie. You're
I
right.
totally remembered that wrong all these years. Whenever I see that picture, I always thought it was the Piggly Wiggly.
How about that, man? Well, Winn-Dixie, Piggly Wiggly, they're all in the South down there.
Yeah. I don't know who. I wonder who the hell did we work with? I don't even know who we got the belts from. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think we had them very long, but I got a picture.
How about that?
First of many, and I wonder now when people list my resume of my amazing accomplishments with all the world championship belts, do they remember to include South Atlantic tag team champion of 91, 2-ish?
Oh,
92, bro. Has to be, doesn't it?
I'm looking at, you know what, Rob? I'm looking at cagematch.net right here. Let's see if it pops up. Rob Van Dam.
Someone said when my water splashes, or when my water breaks, it's gonna be a frog splash.
That's pretty good. Oh my god. Titles. I'm trying to see here. Tag titles.
By the way, cage match is not without flaw. Like the first.
Oh, it's flawed. Yeah, it's flawed for sure. I'm not seeing anything. They don't do a very good job with titles. It doesn't seem.
Well, it was shortly before I went to IWF in Universal Studios, Florida, with Eddie Mansfield, and then got my second championship, which was a TV title for IWF.
Oh, wait, Rob, they have it.
Oh,
they have it on there. They even have the dates. Shout out to Cage Match. July 23rd, 1992, you held it. And then you lost it in a day. Did you? You had a longer in a day, didn't you? Maybe they just didn't.
It might have been a day, dude. I don't remember. You know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes, we list Chaz Rocco with you too on there too.
Yeah. It wasn't like we had like continuous shows at that point. It was like I was doing trips and come in for a couple shots and go back to wherever I was living, which would have been Florida.
Yeah.
Until Wow came up, and then they paid me to move.
Move.
Yeah. Yeah.
Got you to move. Let's see here. I want to make sure I get all the super chats here. Oh, Maddie was asking for more Ultimate RVD Warrior. That's what he was asking.
More. Yeah.
There it is, Maddie.
That's, man. It's giving it your all, man.
Oh, Maddie also wants you to say hello to his Chihuahua, Moo Man the Chihuahua.
Hi, Moo Man.
What's up, Moo Man?
That's funny. He's watching because Lovey watches TV too. She'll watch like so intent to it, and she'll even if there's any kind of animal, she'll start barking and then look at the door like she thinks it's a window.
Oh
She thinks the TV's a window. Where Barbie doesn't even notice the TV. Like I've never had a dog that watched TV till Lovey.
Yeah, it's pretty entertaining. Like we don't like them to bark inside the house, but she kind of gets a pass when she tears off after the TV every time there's a dog on there when she's watching it. And then, and it's
that's so crazy. Dogs are able to do that. Like they'll pick up on barking and stuff on.
Yeah.
It is nuts.
Yeah.
And even if the dogs aren't barking, it can just be a picture of a dog, and she goes ham.
She notices even if I like put something on my head so that my head looks a little different. Like I wore one of her shower caps or something, and Lovey was going crazy, like I was a monster. And then I took it off, and then she's like looking around, like, where'd that monster go?
What the heck?
Yeah.
Maddie also adds, in some alternate universe, there is a gay RVD. Funny shit.
Tommy Angel and Helmut Hessler. Wait, there's Jeff Husker, Helmut Hessler, who he probably watches this, but damn, I can't remember his name right now. But I talked to him when I'm in North Carolina. Anyway, there you go, man. That's the story for that picture. Hey, show that picture that I texted you.
Yes, absolutely. That was the next in line here. Image file. Here it is, Rob. This has been going around the internet, but not that one.
Hey.
Boom! Look at that one. Hold on.
His butt is so big, like this.
Look at that.
And it like doesn't even take up a portion of his butt.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Dusty cop in a field.
Right. So this is a kind of guy humor that is very normal and considered reasonable in the workplace that I come from. You know, he probably just for the picture probably grabbed his ass. It's funny, but it's definitely not out of ordinary. It wouldn't be something that somebody would go to the human resources department about and complain back in the day. Me, I mean, depending on who it is and the relationship, if it's one of my bros and they did that to me, I would feel violated. But it wouldn't be like serious, you know, like I'd laugh it up. I would for sure be like, hey, motherfucker, get your hands to yourself. Like,
Yeah.
no doubt about it. I would let them know, but I wouldn't. But what's amazing is like people in the workplaces nowadays would totally consider that some kind of sexual assault. And people do get in trouble for much less than that. You know, with the Me Too movement, when it comes to just inappropriate touching or whatever. Dude, he's got his hand on his ass while his dick is in his hand. While the other guy's dick is in their hand. I mean, that's you can put that up against a lot of like, oh, he brushed up against my blouse, you know, by the typewriter. And I just think, you know, people, I always say this, people are too shocked nowadays. You know, don't be shocked. Shocked means you're gullible.
Yeah.
So, you know, don't sell it. If you are, don't let everybody know that you're so shocked. And that's just my advice. Obviously, I'm not a dramatic person. I don't want to be. If you want to be dramatic, keep being shocked. But I have seen wrestlers doing the helicopter with their penis in the dressing room. And I'm not talking about the woo guy. All right?
Not the guy, yeah.
No.
And someone y'all love.
Someone that's arguably just as big of a star. And that shit was never cool with me. You know? Like now, certain people are going to go, oh, what a hypocrite. He was in the dressing room. He could have stopped it then. He could have told on them. No, I didn't give a fuck that much. So, you know,
someone said Hogan.
Get your head out of your ass.
Hogan. Hey, dude. Take out the helicopter, bro.
But, you know, I remember one of the dudes, same guy. Yeah, never mind. Anyway, my point.
Is it the same guy that looked over the bathroom stall at
yeah,
you?
it is the same guy. You know, and like nowadays, something like that, boom, you'd be gone.
Someone said The Rock.
But yet people still feel like they're untouchable and like they're not going to get fired. But and like we used to walk on eggshells. Vince wanted us afraid for our job, not too comfortable. If you're too comfortable and you didn't earn it, Oh, that's heat automatically. That's just the way the business has always been. But man, some of the stories that are so benign that people get in trouble for, compared to some of the stories that were pretty egregious back in the day that were okay, is something interesting to do to see where the standards went. You know what used to be funny for a lot of the guys, when you talk to them, they hit you in the balls.
Oh,
I never liked that one either. I remember Piper doing it to me.
Oh man.
Yeah, pretty sure I remember Christian doing it to me too, and I like Christian, so it's not like I was pissed and I was gonna fucking beat his ass, But it's something that for some people, just to be like, oh, I got you, like if you go, hey, what's that? And you room up their face, it's kind of like that if they hit you in the balls while they're standing there, but. You can't do that shit anymore in the normal workplace. Can you do it in the dressing room? I don't know. I kind of doubt it. I doubt it. The dressing room is becoming the normal workplace.
You're walking a finer line now in the dressing room now. When it comes
and a lot of that has to do with the changes in the business. I mean, it is a TV product now. When wrestlers are trained, they're trained to do TV wrestling. That's not how it was, back in my day. And in fact, the wrestlers that I watched growing up didn't even want to watch themselves on TV.
Yeah.
There was only like one wrestling show a week, maybe, at first. And I remember the person that got me into wrestling, Miss T, Tanya. Well, the person that put the seed in my head anyway. She didn't get me into wrestling, but anyway, she traveled with them. And I remember when I was like 15, first time talking to her, and she told me the story that they were all in a hotel room last night. And she said that SD Jones, Special Delivery Jones, was pissed because they turned the TV on and wrestling was on. And he said, oh, shit, isn't there something else on? And turned the channel. And she thought that was funny. As a fan, I was like, what? I was so offended as a fan. Like, he does not deserve his job where he's at. He doesn't appreciate how many people would fucking give their left leg to be a pro wrestler, be on TV, but that was that generation. I don't like to watch myself. And as you guys know, I'm not great at keeping up with the wrestling product. When people want to talk about programs that are going on, or even some of the names that I may or may not know, it's not something that I or most of the people in my generation followed like now. Like now, I think all of the wrestlers watch all of the wrestling and they watch each other, and that's why they end up not being that original, because now they're just taking after, imitating, or at least influenced by other wrestlers if they're not taking their move. That's why every single match has a version of the RKO, a version of the fucking tilt-a-whirl head scissors, and probably a Canadian destroyer.
Every girl now is doing the kiss of death, where you lock their legs in and then smash their head into the
yeah.
I used to do that in the beginning of my career. I forgot I even did that move, but now it's like all over my timeline on WWE and AEW and NXT. It seems like that's popular. But that's another reason probably a lot of wrestlers keep up with wrestling, because if you're on social media and your algorithm's wrestling, you're gonna get the viral moments, where before y'all had to let me look up the channel and find it and spend the time waiting for the highlights.
The news is out. News is out. Everyone's giving us congratulations.
Yeah, I know. I was just looking at my Instagram and I'm getting the sweetest comments.
Awesome.
Blood.
It's gonna be real.
It's gonna be real, guys. Real.
But so anyway, that's a big difference also in the product that you're seeing right now as wrestling compared to how it was then. Besides the fact that they approach it completely different, a lot of the would have been competition part of it has been decided beforehand, and so that makes it like totally different, because then what you're doing is performing quite a different task. And anyway, it just wanted to say it in a way that I hope it makes sense to people that are watching and wondering what the hell happened.
Well, that definitely makes a lot more sense when it comes to that. Oh man. Oh, all right. We have a couple other super chats I forgot to mention here. Ricky Jordan for $2 says, "How did you bounce so high on Dreamer's Pile Driver?"
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was just the combination of his ass and my kinetic energy. Yeah, I've never been able to replicate that with somebody else, and I've tried, with a few other people, and it seems to be just something that's amazing that happens when Tommy pile drives me.
That's it. Tommy's got the magic touch.
Yeah.
Louis B, if you ever wanted to sell your OG ECW TV belt, I'd be very interested. It would be a dream item to own.
Well, I will keep that in mind in case I ever want to sell my ECW television championship. I don't see it happening. Yeah, I don't really see that being a good likely.
Yeah. Heck of a title right there. Heck of a title. I guess before we close out, I did want to ask too. Did you catch Mr. Iguana? All the rage about him.
I don't think so. I saw a little clip of something, and I don't know if that's what everyone's raging about, where a dude's walking on the rope and the guy's got his hand and he's paralyzed, I guess, because he's just like holding him. And then the guy like moves his hand, but he's got an iguana in his hand, and he's like, and he sells it, but I think it's fake. I think it's a fake iguana.
It's a puppet iguana. It's a puppet. So the guy walks out with it. It looks kind of like a real iguana, but it's really a puppet. And then, like, they had it on the When Worlds Collide, that NXT AAA. Yeah, and so
was it just a spot, or is he like, or is there more that I didn't see?
So there's more. So he does the weird tongue thing that an iguana does, like that thing. And then he does, like, when he got knocked down, he like played dead like an iguana, like how the iguanas like keep their arms up like that. It's kind of pretty entertaining.
Okay.
Yeah. And it got over big time. The fans have been.
I've been seeing a lot of that on my timeline.
Okay.
Yeah.
Check it out.
So, something to kind of check out. I was pretty. It's a definitely not what would be something you and Sabu would be doing for sure. But,
that's funny.
Yeah. Right. But pretty interesting stuff there.
Speaking of YouTube, Chris has been fucking pumping out the Sabu wrestling matches on the YouTube page, the Real RVD. So appreciate you, YouTube Chris. A lot of people are writing in the comments, "Thank you, Rob. This is a gem," but can't really take the credit unless I actually wrestled in the match, in which case I'll take the credit.
Then you can take the credit.
Yeah. I always had to carry him before. I might as well carry him in a casket. Oh, too soon? That is kind of soon.
Sabu would laugh at that one, though. He would laugh at that one.
Yeah.
We got a lot of Kevin says thanks for the retro matches. Yeah, thanks YouTube, Chris. Yeah, he's doing a really good job. He's churning them out like crazy too. So good to see that. I think that does it. I don't have any more super chats. I don't think. Nope, I got them all. I think. Let me just make sure. Let me make sure. I think I got everybody. Yep, I think we're good. Cool. Well, congratulations, guys. What an awesome
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Dominator.
Thank you. Dirt Sheet Dom. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Period. Point blank.
Point blank. That's it.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone, for the congratulations. I might be getting too many to respond to on social media.
I know I saw Paul Heyman texted him.
Yeah.
Wow, how about that? Dang. So you're getting shout outs from all over the place there. So And well deserved too. It's awesome. I'm excited for you guys. And,
Chris Masters. Let's start name dropping our famous friends.
Carrie Cross,
Decker.
Hell yeah.
Candice Michelle, Kelly.
All right.
It's been like one of my inspirations through my journey because she has twins.
You got twins. That's right.
Yeah, so she's a fellow mom that I love talking to about mom stuff.
We're gonna go deal with this. Appreciate it. Awesome show.
Yes.
I don't know if I learned anything, but you know,
y'all learned I'm pregnant.
You sure did.
There's a new Van Dam fam member coming up.
Watch it. Look out.
Hell yeah. All right, guys. We'll see you next time here on One of a Kind with RVD, KT, and RVD Baby. All right.
Peace out, hoes.
See you guys.